welcome back to the channel. If you haven't had the opportunity, please subscribe to the channel. And after you subscribe, hit that little bell notification so you can get the latest boxing content from the channel. So today we had great fight, Amir Khan versus Kell Brook. Very interesting fight. I've been waiting for this fight for years. The fight got off to an interesting start with the whole gloves thing. I'm not exactly sure what was going on with that. Quite interesting that Kell Brook had to actually change his gloves before the fight started. Saw an interview with him after the fight, and he mentioned something about they told him that he wouldn't get paid unless he changed the gloves. So it seems like they were kind of playing some mind games with Kell Brook throughout the entire promotion, but he still came out victorious with a 6-round knockout. It's interesting, man, because anybody that knows me knows, man, I'm a huge Kell Brook fan. You know, the special one, Kell Brook. Back when he was fighting, back a few years ago when he fought Sean Porter, I thought Kell Brook was the best welterweight in the world, and that was prior to, Terrence Crawford moving up into the welterweight division and Spence ascension. Now, I had Spence win, and I wanted Spence to win that fight. If Jay was here, he'd tell you I was calling that fight like to a T. I told Jay that Brook would be able to count over Spence's jab because the timing, the technical skills that he has, and I called that fight to a T. But I thought that ultimately Spence would end up breaking him down. This fight here, and we can see why, just the way that Khan was hurt in the first round, the second round, the third round. Seems like he got hurt every round. I always knew that Khan was going to have a speed advantage over Kell Brook. Khan pretty much has a speed advantage over everyone. I thought if he would have fought Mayweather, he would have had a speed advantage over him as well in terms of just fluidity and hand speed when you start talking about continuous punches. And the only person that probably could hang with him was Pacquiao. But the thing about Kell Brook, the timing. Brook is actually, his timing is really, really, really good. I thought he was actually going to give Terrence Crawford a better fight than he gave him. But Brook's timing is incredible. It's impeccable. And I understood that even with all the speed that Amir Khan has, he likes to flurry. And if Brook catches him in the midst of those flurries, he's going to hurt him. And sure enough, Khan's chin showed up again. And not only that, because Khan historically has had a bad chin, but when you think about the way he was getting hurt in this fight, he was hurt in round 1. I think in round 6, the first punch was a jab, and he was stumbling. His legs were gone. Amir Khan, and I know a lot of people will say, well, he's always been chinny. He's been chinny. He's a chin. He's never could take a punch. But when you really think about this particular Khan's body has broken down. He can no longer even take the shots that he took back then. He just can't take a punch anymore. And anything Kell Brook landed on him, man, he was basically out on his feet with any shot, including the jab. So I didn't think it was going to be this dominating of a performance. I thought ultimately, Kell Brook would catch him with a shot in between his punches because he just got that level of timing and would ultimately get Khan up out of there. But I didn't see him getting hurt in the first round, the second round, the third round. He got hurt pretty much every single round. And then when you look at Kell Brook when he was in the ring, man, he looked jacked and he looked bigger than Khan. Khan, to me, in my estimation, looked a little bit frail. Looked a little bit shot worn in terms of he still looked fast, but his body looked a little worn. And definitely his chin was worn, right? So kudos to both fighters, though. After the fight, they embraced. I think this is an opportunity for them to put all that stuff behind them. I get the competitive rivalry. I get that Khan hasn't necessarily shown Brook the level of respect that he should have. And I think we saw from tonight the reason why Khan had avoided this fight. This is. I think the fight maybe would have been more competitive 5, 6, 7 years ago, but the result would have been the same. Kell Brook would have eventually walked him down, tied him, clipped him, and got him up out of there. So now, what's next for both fighters? So in my estimation, what's next for Khan is retirement. Right, he's done. He can no longer take a shot. He's still fast. He doesn't have the level of defense required to protect his chin. He doesn't have a strategy or an approach to the boxing game to protect his chin. He's 35 years old. He's done what he's going to do in the sport of boxing. I think it's time for him to walk on or move on. For Kell Brook, it actually opens up opportunities for him, right? So I heard about Chris Eubank Jr. Sounds like they don't like each other. Seems like that might be an opportunity for him. I think Chris Eubank Jr. might be a little bit too big for Kell Brook, so I'm actually surprised that he's interested in taking that fight. But that's an option for him. They're throwing out Keith Thurman's name as an option for him. I think that's an excellent fight. I would love to see Thurman versus Brook. Again, I'm going to preface my prediction right now with the fact that I am a Kell Brook fan. So in my opinion, I think Kell Brook's timing would beat Keith Thurman. I really do. I think I thought it back then. I think it now. I think Kell Brook is a top-notch fighter. I thought he was gonna, like I said, I thought he was gonna give Terrence Crawford a better fight than what he did. He should have gave Terrence Crawford a better fight than what he did, but he ultimately got clipped. It seemed like he couldn't necessarily take a punch at that time. So, but I don't know. You know, if Keith lands, I mean, he can certainly get him up out of there. So we'll see. I mean, honestly, if I was advising Kell Brook, I would tell him to retire too. You know, you 35 years old, you've had a great career, you fought some of the best fighters, you fought Spence, you fought Crawford, you fought Porter, you fought Khan, you know, you fought Golovkin. There's really nothing else to prove if you're Kell Brook. So in my estimation, it's time for Kell Brook to hang him up and walk off into the sunset. So we'll see what ends up ultimately happening. I wouldn't be surprised if Khan came back. You never know about these fighters. They sometimes have a very challenging time with letting things go. Even though I believe Brook should retire, I would bet my next paycheck that I'll see Kell Brook in the ring again. I think it's possible that this fight might have given him a false sense of reality because of how easy it was to be Khan. A fighter that's not as shot worn as Khan, I don't know what he's going to actually look like. But at the same time, I do believe if his chin holds up and he is not as chinny as I thought he might have been during the fight with Crawford, he can definitely give some of these welterweights a run. So that's all I have for right now. Again, guys, remember, subscribe to the channel. Leave comments in the comment section. We love to talk to you guys. Until next time, peace.